Hello YouTube, this is Black Rise Up video, powering black people through education. Now I normally don't talk about anyone's views or opinions because everyone has a right to their own opinion and to speak freely how they feel. But once in a while you do have to say something about what someone else says. This right here, FearlessJ2008, think that's his name. Let me go back and see. That's it. Make it smaller, cause this is Fearless 2005. You notice he has 13,000 subscribers here. He should have lost every subscriber he ever had in this video right here. Everyone should have left him. It's called Most Deaf Trapped in Africa and Banned from the United States of America. Be careful what you ask for. Now he's sitting in his car doing this. Let's listen to him. It's 8 minutes long. I don't know if I'm gonna listen to all 8 minutes. You know, I really don't do that, but this, you need to listen to this.
I'm gonna post an article on the bottom. I want you guys to check this out. Especially a lot of these pro-black folk that can't stand Babylon the Great, that can't stand America, that just want to leave this country, that complain about everything that go on in this country. Now, I'm fully aware of how the so-called black Americans came to this country. Okay, but you got to consider this is generations and generations and generations that pass by. Okay, you are a completely, totally different breed of people that were originally brought here to this country against their will. Now, I'm fully aware of the unfairness, of the racism, and all these other problems that we complain and talk about. But you can't go anywhere without problems. Every country have their own set of problems.
Okay, we're going to pause this for a minute. You see, he's talking about every country has their own sets of problems. Yes, we all know that. But by saying that every country has a set of problems, you're giving the people excuses to do the things that they do. Then you hear them talking about that we're a different breed of people. But we're still basically treated the same as the different breed of people that came over here. And he called it Babylon the Great and all the, the people that, wanted the pro-black people. You understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. And then he's talking about the so-called. He didn't say, the racism and the things that are holding us down. He's like so-called, like it doesn't, like it's not really a big deal. But we're going to continue to listen to some of this. Let's go.
That they complain about. There's countries that's running to get away from their problems, and they feel they could come to America to be free. So you can't run from whatever judgment that's meant to come upon you, not just as a people, but also as an individual. See, countries are like relationships. There's people that always believe that the grass is greener on the other side. They always believe that the white man's ice is colder. So they get out of one relationship and into another relationship and find that the new relationship is worse than the last. And they find themselves going back to what they perceive as mess. They return to their vomit. Now, this article is pertaining to Most Def. Most Def is a good brother. He's a good dude, man. I have nothing against this brother, but what's written in this article should be a lesson to all of us, especially the so-called Back to Africa movement type brothers that complain about everything being in this country, even going as far as changing your name, because that name change could become a curse more so than a blessing. Now, this brother was born and raised in Brooklyn.
I'm going to pause this. Now, see, See the stupid message that he's preaching, that he's continued to preach, talking about the name change and the Back to Africa movement. He's going to get deep into it, but like I said, I'm going to pause it and make some points. Said it's going to, and actually be a curse instead of a blessing. If we didn't allow it to be that way, it would never be a curse. But we're allowing it, just like he is allowing it. He's giving them an excuse to do the things that they do. And why the world is, or the United States, or Babylon the Great is what he calls it, is the way it is, and it's fine. You just have to deal with it. You don't have to change anything. Otherwise, if that's the case, then we will still be slaves if we believe that, and he wouldn't even be able to speak his views, and he will be getting beat. But like I say, we're going to continue to let the fool talk.
And he moved to Africa, and a lot of times people get mesmerized and hypnotized by the beauty of Africa, the purity of Africa, and being among the people and the culture. Okay, a lot of us, we thirst and we hunger after that. But after all of that culture shock or excitement, it's like a marriage. As soon as that excitement is over, reality kicks in. So now this brother is dealing with completely, totally different struggles than what he has ever dealt with in this country. Now, the photo on this article, I'm not sure if it's real or if it was taken from maybe some other article, but it's got this brother crying. I'm not even sure if this article is real or legit, but you be the judge. Now, he's in Africa.
Pause it again. He's not sure that this article is real or legit, but he's still going to give his views on it. And the views are pretty twisted, and anybody that agrees with it, you need help.
He wants to come back, but he's banned from coming back. There's some immigration problems that he's going through, and they have a picture of him sitting there crying with his head down. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't even know if this article is real, but you be the judge. See, when I went overseas, I've watched so-called pro-black brothers that complained about the white man, complained about racism and discrimination, complained about everything in this country. But when they came back to this place, when we landed at that airport, these same dudes got off that plane, got on their knees, and kissed this ground. They was happy to be back to Babylon. See, so when a lot of y'all start talking with excitement about how Babylon the Great is going to fall and how it's going to be destroyed and how the Most High, yeah, that's going to happen. But what you fail to realize, you are also included. Your family and loved ones are also included in Babylon. All right, so when Babylon goes down, keep in mind, so will your family, your loved ones, and possibly you. Especially if you're not on the side of the Most High, whether you...
Now, did you just hear him? He says you, your family, and everyone else you love is going to go down in Babylon. But he's telling you should be happy to be in Babylon. That other countries are way worse than this, so you should be happy to be here. And even if it falls, it's okay. Because you just have to believe in the Most High. And listen to what he said. If you are really listening to this fool, and you're a subscriber, and you believe his words, and the black community is worse off than what I thought, because this is horrible. This is very, very horrible. Instead of trying to change Africa or even the United States of America, he's telling you to be okay with what's going on. He's actually telling you to deal with it and sit here and deal with racist America, because it's better than everywhere else. Yes, Africa has its problems. There are some great countries in Africa that don't have any problems like we do here. But there's problems everywhere. Yes, but to say it's okay because everybody has their problems and things are worse, and you come in and kiss the ground that you know that you're getting oppressed on, and to be fine with it is okay, and then no, Babylon's going to fall, but your family and everything's going to fall with it, but it's okay. Let's continue to listen to this fool.
Want to believe it or accept it or not. See, so we can learn learn from this brother right here. See, when I went overseas and I came back there, I learned to appreciate this place. And see, we have to watch what we say while we're here. See, because what we say could burn bridges for us. And one day we decide to save up the money and we leave. And then we want to
pause it again. Burning the bridge here? We have no bridges to cross here. It's like most Def probably can't come back because of his child support problems. He probably doesn't want to live here. He might want to visit his children. Who knows what he wants to come back here for? He doesn't want. He might not want to live here. He wants to come and visit. He does have family members here. Are you listening to this fool? I mean, it's sad. Let's keep on.
Come back. Because we think we can have our cake and eat it too. We think we can play both sides of the fence. I can go and come as I please, and then you come back and say, oh, I'm from Africa, I'm going back home. Or you come here to America, I'm going back to Africa, or you go to Africa and say, I'm going back home to America. Y'all too much for me over here. I can't deal with these lions. It's enough dealing with the dogs and the skunks. We dealing with orangutans that are real hood orangutans. And then you find out you can't come back because there's an immigration problem.
Pause it. You notice that, the subliminal message that he called them some monkeys. Real orangutans in the hood. He called the Africans some monkeys. That's basically what he did. But nobody peeped that, but I did. Alright, let's go.
And now you like this picture that may or may not be real. But he was crying, weeping, to come back to the same country that he ran from. But like I said, I love that brother.
Pause it again.
He's a good dude.
First of all, we know that they didn't get an article of him crying, and he was like, and that was the picture that he was stuck at. If you see it, it's probably from one of his little torture tests that he's done to try to, show you how bad it is to go through the things that they go through. It's probably from one of those, or some video or some picture that he's taken. It's not from like a shot where I can't come back to America. It's not that, and he knows that, and he's seen it, and he's still saying it. I mean, this dude's a fool.
But and he had the money to do it. And he talked about, the article talked about how he went to other countries and how he enjoyed himself. But when he got to Africa, with the beaches and the trees and the nature and culture, and he was happy. I'm home. And you can't leave. See, it's a big shock to him now. He's now a foreigner. He didn't have a dual citizenship. He went there and he decided to stay. Alright, so we gotta watch what we say. And I'm sure, I don't know if it's the African immigration that's preventing him from coming back here, or if it's the American immigration preventing him from coming back here. Because his birth name is one thing, but he's got a bay on the end of his name. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. But when you start saying I'm a Moor, right? Okay, now are you a Moor or are you an American? See? So he wants to come back now, and there's a problem.
And those of you who don't know what a Moor is, it's a warrior scholar that are African descent and Arabian descent. They once conquered Spain. The reason Spain is what it is today is because of us. Yeah, that's what that is. And yeah, we are Moors, and you should be a Moor. Scholar is something great to be, but he's telling you that it's a bad thing. This man is Uncle Ruckus at its finest.
With immigration.
But we gonna go.
He's dealing with real struggles now. Different struggles. See, so when y'all want to talk about, and that's why I made that video before, man. Listen. If you're not happy and content here, if you got the funds to do it, or you can save up and do it, especially y'all that hustle drugs, I mean, you make enough money to do it. If you selling drugs, you making enough money to leave.
Alright, well, I'm pretty much done with the Coon, because it's just going to be a bunch of stupid stuff at the end. But you pretty much get the gist. There's only like maybe 30 seconds left in the video. Do you see the message that he is preaching? I haven't heard any one of his videos. I just came up with this by accident, going through YouTube and telling you suggestions for you, from what the stuff you look at and the things that you upload. This so happened to come up, and I was saddened by the message that he was preaching, and the fact that he actually had that many subscribers and God knows how many views and maybe what else he's talking about. I don't know if I can continue to listen to anything else that he brings to the table, but this is a pretty bad message given to anyone. Be glad that you live in Babylon the Great, and you know it's going to fall, and your family are going to fall with you. Just believe in the Most High. Everything's going to be fine. Oh yes, he's going to be fine with you living in the worst place in the world and happy there and thriving there and being a part of what's going on. But when it falls, you're going to be okay. This is the message this fool is teaching to other people. Black people want to know why we have a giant problem in our little community and things don't get done, and we'll never get along, and we'll never probably ever have a community, and things won't get right because of people like him. This is Uncle Ruckus to the fullest. This is a real life Uncle Ruckus right here. This is a real Coon. He's happy with all the bad things that's going on in our world, and he's fine with it. That's a Coon. A Coon is not somebody to talk about, what's going on and bad and try to change it. This is the actual Coon. You're seeing one through the eyes of this lens that's playing on there. You can look at his videos, and I'm pretty sure he probably got other stuff that he said, but I don't know if I can listen to anything else that he said after this. But hope you can get some type of education and some type of learning from these videos, because this is very, very sad right here. Later, YouTube.